Hello world, it's me, Dion, the quarantine bandit. That's me. Um, I was talking to a friend today on the phone, and he called me and he was just asking me things about, how I feel about certain things because, he's a liberal. We're friends, but he's a liberal. I'm more on the conservative side. But in a free society, you have the right to be whatever you want to be. So I'm cool with that. If you treat me the way I want to be treated, we can dialogue. I have no excuse me, I have no problem with that. He was asking me about Black Lives Matter. And is it a good thing for black people? And is it a good movement for black people? Because I have to say black people because for some reason when you say all people, you get boos. You get a whole bunch of boos. You're in a Black Lives Matter crowd or if you're going back and forth with them, they will say that you saying all lives matter is not principled for their movement. So I said, hey man, what are you really asking me? Do I support Black Lives Matter? Um, he said yes. And I told him, no, I don't support Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter goes against everything that is black. And here's why. Their movement is not for black people. Their movement is for LGBTQ. And I won't say rights because under the law and the Constitution, we all have rights. So whenever the LGBTQ community says that they're fighting for rights, I want to ask them, what rights are you fighting for? Because we all have rights under the Constitution. We all have those rights. And now they have the right to be married. They have the right to own a business. And they always have been able to do this. Now, as far as the marriage thing, that's fairly new. Because in the good old days, a marriage was an institution between man and woman. But I won't get into that. And the reason why is because they're now allowed to be married. But let's get into Black Lives Matter. Everything about them is against the nuclear family. They're pro-abortion. They believe in, kid have the right to become a transgender. Um, what they call transgender. You have a right to be whatever you feel you are. You can be that. It's ran by lesbians. So if I see an organization that's ran by 3 lesbians, how is that going to benefit the black man? Let's cancel out the black and Black Lives Matter. Because this don't have anything to do with Black Lives Matter. It don't have anything to do with black lives actually matter, is what I'm saying. I'm here to tell you, a man, I'll get to that point in a minute. I was about to go into a rant, but I won't do that yet. But I will say this, Black Lives Matter is no different from any other group that exploits and attach themselves to the black movement or black cause, what black people are trying to accomplish. You have these outside groups that will attach black to their name, and if black people don't go along with that, then they're a sellout. You're supposed to go with that group because the word black is in the title. But when you read and look up things, you know, we have phones, we have computers. The world comes to you. And if the world comes to you, you can look up whatever information on anybody you want. If you're dating somebody, you can look up that information and find out about that person. So why won't people just look up Black Lives Matter, their manifesto, what they believe in, what they're trying to bring forth to the world, and how they want the world to accept what they're bringing forth? I'm here to tell you, a man can't transform into a woman. He can't transgender into a woman, and a woman can't transgender into a man. A man who have that kind of surgery, that don't make him a man. I mean, a woman. And a woman that had that type of surgery, it doesn't make her a man. And I have another rant I'm gonna do later on that's called "Women Should Be Offended." But anyway, these things are false because see, a man that thinks he can turn into a woman, the women around him should be offended because what a man do to think he's a woman doesn't make a woman. It breaks women down to something lower than what they actually are. A man would never menstruate. He would never give birth. He would never go through menopause. He would never have to go see his gynecologist. He would never go get a pap smear. He would never go through these things in life. He would never do it. I don't care if he have a surgery. It's called castration. He's a mutilated man at this point. Playing dress up does not make you a woman. It do not make you a woman, and vice versa. Women don't know what it's like to be a man. Just because you dress in a suit, cut your hair low, and act all kind of like this masculine aura about yourself, your perceived masculine aura, because you're only pretending to be something that you think that's what it is, which means if you feel that that's how a man should act, you're pretending to act that way because you think that's what a man is. And that's not what a man is. So Black Lives Matter stands for the Black Lesbian Movement because they're anti-men. They're anti-nuclear family. They are pro-abortion. Everything that will destroy the black community and the blacks as a whole. Black Lives Matter stands for that. The destruction of the family. And what you do in a bedroom is none of my business. And it shouldn't be legislated what you do in bed. That shouldn't be in legislation. It should not be. Now, I'm not the most articulate man, but I do know common sense. So in conclusion, when my friend asks me, do I support Black Lives Matter? The answer is a whopping no.